Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 4 was highly successful upon its release in 2008, earning $310 million in its first day and $500 million in its first week. But it wouldn't be a stretch to say GTA 4 was a far cry from its older siblings, which explored similar themes, yet turned all the way up to level crack cocaine. Now, the stark contrast or differences between GTA 4 and GTA 3 have split the core fanbase to some extent, with opinions rooted between those who either believe GTA 4 is the best in the series and those who wouldn't even include it in their top 5 GTA game list. Crazy. So with that being said, I'm Claimer, let's explore the top 5 reasons GTA 4 is the most underappreciated game of the franchise. Number 1. Realism versus Stylisation. When you think about realism, you think about things which are grounded to reality, the things we see on a day-to-day basis. If a game has characters and objects which look like real life, then we'd expect them to function and react in a similar way to real life. So for example, if we were to see Niko gain weight in the matter of 2 days, handle and shoot a weapon as if it was a toy gun, ride a bicycle from mission to mission, it will just be kind of strange, right? Because the game aesthetic is based on realism. However, with realism comes limitations. It would go against our expectations to see Niko be out of character, for example, customizing cars. Why? Or getting away with mass murdering chaos on the streets, which of course you can do, but there are hard consequences in this game. For example, trying to escape a 3-star wanted level is difficult in GTA 4, especially in comparison to number 5. Now let's compare this to the GTA 3 game aesthetic. These are stylized games because they're low polygon models, buildings are essentially blocks, guns don't appear to look authentic. So as players we have different expectations, we let certain things slide within the game. So it really is just a matter of preference, and I think those who indoctrinated themselves in the world of, say, GTA San Andreas, that's a tough shift from casually jumping out of planes without anyone battering an eyelid to being forced to utilize a duck and cover system because only a couple of shots will get you killed. Number 2, an unfamiliar protagonist. Let's face it, Niko is not your typical GTA protagonist. This has nothing to do with culture, creed, color. This is to do with what we are used to in mainstream media. If you were to analyze the protagonists in previous games, there's always some sort of mainstream movie that you can compare them to. The GTA Vice City protagonist is voiced by Ray Liotta, and Ray Liotta is well known for being in mob-based movies. GTA San Andreas' protagonist, Carl Johnson, fits the tropes which you'll find in successful movies such as Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society. And these protagonists often have stereotypical, eccentric, flamboyant personalities that are familiar to most of us. Now Niko, on the other hand, sure, he's an immigrant from Yugoslavia who's traveled over to America to live the dream, not all that dissimilar to Scarface, but most of us aren't familiar with his culture. His humor is dry-witted, he doesn't have any notable one-liners, and it's hard to pinpoint him to any other entertainment medium to instantly become invested in him. Is that a problem for me or even yourself? Probably not, but for the masses, they often have to find that familiarity to warm to the protagonist. Number 3. Image treatment. For players at the time when GTA was released, one of the major complaints is that they would lose interest because the game appeared to be dull. And why did it appear to be dull? It all boiled down to one simple Rockstar mistake: image treatment. The designers at Rockstar at the time chose to create this beige filter, which essentially remains as an overlay no matter the weather or the time of day. And I'll have to admit, it was something that put me off the game many years ago myself. It's such a common complaint, and I think it's justified. However, in 2022, with all the graphical enhancement mods available, we now have that option to play a vibrant GTA where we can appreciate the trees, the shop store signs, the pub furniture. It's hard to really blame Rockstar at the time because it's clear the direction they were going for. Again, a gritty, open world simulation. Number 4, lack of customization. Now, there is the ability to customize your car to some extent. You can change his outfits, but every customization is only relative to not only Niko's world, but also the scenario he finds himself in the game at the time. For players who'd spent years binging off of GTA San Andreas, this was considered a huge shortcoming, but I believe this was by design. I don't think Rockstar were after a free-for-all sandbox type game. I'd assume Rockstar wanted to make use of the new hardware which allowed them to create higher polygon models, and why ruin that real-world aesthetic with superficial upgrades which only cater to an audience looking for a quick dopamine hit. Escapism comes in many forms, and for someone like myself, I like to be invested in a good story, and I'm typically not keen on things or aspects of a game which disrupt me from that main story. Number 5, it's too difficult. Yes, Rockstar want you to learn. They want you to learn how to drive. They want you to learn how to fight. Niko fights like a war veteran, but it takes timing and precision. Let's say Niko is outnumbered and he doesn't possess a gun. This game doesn't have some sort of Batman Arkham or Assassin's Creed system where it's easy to parry and switch to the next player. Again, it's more grounded to reality. If you were to face more than one person in real life, what would be your odds of winning? Parrying is an option in this game, but to parry, you need pinpoint precision. And if you fail, there are consequences. So unlike previous games where you could just explore the world, kill random strangers and not deal with consequences, GTA 4 encourages you, much like in real life, to obey fundamental world rules. And the same thing applies to driving. Driving an expensive fast car in GTA 4 will often result in that car getting completely trashed because the controls aren't easy. It's much like real life. The auto aim in GTA 4 is terrible, but if you are using manual aim, for example, it's difficult. It's more difficult than GTA 5. If you were to shoot your weapon in midair nearby cops and then accidentally run someone over and attain a 3-star rating, you might spend 5 minutes trying to get rid of that rating. And that's simply the consequence of you shooting in public. That is not to everyone's taste, and Rockstar were well aware of that. Despite GTA 4's high sales initially, GTA 5 is essentially a culmination of your feedback based on the things you did not like in GTA 4. And only the hardcore players want to see many of those mechanics from GTA 4 included in GTA 6, such as real driving mechanics, more realistic combat and gunplay. But again, it comes down to preference, and it's hard not to empathize with those players who just love a fun, customizable and chaotic sandbox game which can help them detach from reality. Some of you may be aware I've been uploading my GTA 4 playthroughs, and I've come to the conclusion GTA 4 has the best storyline of any GTA game I've played so far. But in order for me to enjoy this game, I, like many who didn't enjoy the image treatment, had to create my own shaders in order to enjoy the full potential of the game. I highly recommend everyone with a PC to give the game a second chance and download one of the many enhancements available. You can download my shaders, link in the description. But let me know what you think. Where does GTA 4 sit in the hierarchy for you? Be honest, did you complete the game? Was the lack of customization off-putting? Did you warm to Niko Bellic initially? Let me know in the comment section whether you think GTA 4 was underappreciated or not. Until then, if you love GTA content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.